Hello there everybody, my name is Silver and welcome back to another video where we're going to be talking about anime. In today's video everybody, it's time to talk about Hunter x Hunter and my sort of thoughts and opinions on the show so far. Just before we get into the video guys, I would just like to say that these videos are completely unscripted and only slightly edited, so you're getting just my absolute just my word vomit of this show. I'm just going to just talk crap and give you a basic summary about this anime, and yeah, please let me know what your thoughts are of this show in the comment section down below. And with all that said everybody, let's get into today's sort of review sort of thing. So then everybody, Hunter x Hunter is my anime of 2021. Now, some of you may be confused about this phrase. I know that a friend of mine is confused about it. When I say my anime of 2021, I don't mean my top pick or my favorite anime of this year. It's just something that I do. So I've explained this several times before. I started this thing back in about 2016. The first anime I watched at the start of the year in January, I watched it in Japanese, and at the end of the year, I rewatched that show again in December, in the final month, but I rewatched it in English. And it's just a fun little habit that I've been getting into. I think it's kind of cool. You return to the show and you just have all these feelings and all this nostalgia come back to you, and it's kind of cool. Last year, my anime of the year was Fire Force, and this year it is Hunter x Hunter. So then everybody, let us begin. I'm of course talking about the 2011 adaptation of Hunter x Hunter. It is a slightly newer adaptation. Maybe in December I will rewatch the original one that came out in the 90s, question mark? Yeah, 1999. Nice. Alrighty then, a basic synopsis of Hunter x Hunter. We follow the story of Gon, a youth who is looking for his father. His father left his home and left Gon as a child to become a hunter. So hunters are like these legendary sort of treasure explorer folks. They look for new species of animals, or they explore old ruins, or they just do crazy things. And Gon, of course, wants to follow in his father's footsteps and become a hunter. And there it is. So then everybody, let's begin by talking about the characters. We will of course start with the main character, Gon. Now, Gon is a very generic shonen protagonist. If you've heard of perhaps Naruto or Goku, he is literally just your basic bitch, very vanilla sort of shonen protagonist. He is a good character though. I don't know, dude. There's just something about him in the Japanese dub of this show that it annoys me a little bit. I'm not really sure what it is. But in any case, he's a decent character. He's a decent main character for the show. He's very stubborn, very naive, very, I will do anything to protect my friends. Just your classic freaking thing. He eventually becomes, I suppose we can talk a little bit about the abilities and the powers eventually as we get into it. But yes, Gon is your very standard shonen main character, and he wears his annoying little green outfit. I like that he eventually ditches his fishing rod. So in the beginning of the show, he fights with a fishing rod, and it's very, very dumb if you ask me. Moving on from there, our other lead character, we have Killua Zordik. So Killua is an assassin. He comes from a long family of other assassins, the Zordik family. As such, Killua has had a very rough childhood. He has been put through very intense training as an assassin, including being tortured with electricity and various things that are pretty insane for a kid that is as young as him. But as a consequence of all this training, he is very tough and very strong as is. He is, as I've said, the other sort of main character alongside Gon. The majority of the show follows their story. Killua is very different to Gon. He is fine with lying and being deceitful and being a little bit tougher to handle. He's a bit of a tougher customer. But that being said, he has never really had a friend because of his brutal upbringing. So him and Gon get along really well, and he's just so happy to have a best friend that he can hang out with. So yeah, I think Killua is a really sick character, and he eventually gets lightning powers, and that's kind of dope. Moving on from there, our other main cast, we have Kurapika, who is this androgynous, if you ask me. I wasn't sure if Kurapika was a boy or a girl when I first saw him. I'm fairly certain Kurapika is a boy. But yes, same thing with the Japanese voice actor. It's very sort of androgynous and hard to tell. But in any case, Kurapika is pretty cool. He is one of those massive brain 1000 IQ characters, and he's able to come up with these insane plans and think about every possible scenario and every possible thing. His power eventually becomes pretty cool as well. Kudupika is of the Kurata clan, and it is basically budget Sharingan. When he gets mad or in a high state of emotions, his eyes become red, and he is able to, I don't know, have spooky red eyes. Most of his clan was hunted down and killed because apparently the eyes are considered one of the wonders of the world, and they're very expensive, and people want to collect them for some fucked up reason. But yes, most of his family was killed, and he has a strong sense of revenge for finding the ones who murdered his family. So he's a pretty cool character. And finally, in our main cast of characters, we have Lioreo. He is a doctor. He doesn't really get much fighting time. He's not that kind of character. I really like Lioreo. He's a very cool character, and his voice actor in Japanese just fits so well. He's just a very nice guy to have around. He wants to help his friends, and he's also a very smart character as well, and he's just a reliable, trustworthy guy, and he's a good guy. Yes, he wants to be a doctor, so he's training to be a doctor and help people. His backstory is that he couldn't save a friend of his in his youth, so he wants to be able to learn his medical practice so that he can never have that happen again and save other people's lives. So yes, Lioreo is a very cool character, and we like him. So then, folks, that is the main cast of characters in Hunter x Hunter. Then we move into the basic story points. I have the Wikipedia page opened here, so that changes my light levels just a little bit. That's very bright. Ooh. Yeah, that's a bit better. Okay, cool. So, the first arc of Hunter x Hunter is, of course, the Hunter exam arc. The very first thing that we are introduced into the show is Gon is on his home island of Whale Island, or something like that, Whale Tail Island. Well, we can have a look here. The story begins when a young boy named Gon aspires to be like his father Ging, and Aunt Mito. What's the name of the island, bro? Tell me the name of the island. Anyways, yes, the first arc of Hunter x Hunter. Yes, the island is not really important, whatever. Gon leaves his hometown and his lovely Aunt Mito. Gon has grown up without parents. He doesn't know who his mother is. For all he cares about, his Aunt Mito is his mother. So he lives on this little island. He decides, hey, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna become a hunter like my father, and that is essentially the Hunter exam arc. Gon leaves his home island, he gets on a ship and heads for the Hunter exam site. He meets Kurapika and Lioreo on this ship. Various shenanigans happen, they become a little bit closer, and the three of them decide to go through the exam together, more or less. So these three characters slowly bond over this arc. There is, of course, an insane exam test. Hunters in this world are just, yeah, I've explained before, they're these insane treasure hunter dudes, but also when you have a hunter license, you are able to travel anywhere you want in the world, and you can also sell the license for millions and millions of dollars or whatever. So getting your hunter license is a big deal, and it opens up a lot of opportunities for you. So obviously the hunter exam to get the hunter license is very, very difficult. So there are various tests and various things going on in the hunter exam arc to put them through. The first test that they go through is there's just this guy running down a hallway. I need to talk about this. The very first test in the hunter exam arc. So they are taken to this building. They are taken to the top floor of this building, and then on the top floor they run into the hunter examiner, and he's like, hey, follow me down this tunnel. They have just gotten an elevator to the top of a skyscraper. Where is this tunnel? How is there a tunnel up here? Where is it going? Didn't make a whole lot of sense. But anyways, they run down a tunnel, and the hunter exam guy is simply just like, your only task for this thing is to follow me, and he gets a brisk pace and he starts running, and yeah, it's kind of like a mental thing, like they don't know how far he's going to be running, they don't know how long he's going to be going. They eventually end up running about 80 kilometers, which is quite frankly ridiculous, but yes, that is the first test. Gon managed to pass very easily. Lioreo struggles a little bit because it's kind of like a mental thing, but yes, just various tests like that, things going on, different monsters to run into. Hunter exam arc is pretty good. Moving on from there, we have the Heavens Arena arc, which is after the Hunter exam. Killua ends up not passing. I suppose I don't need to give you a full rundown of absolutely everything, but yes, the Heavens Arena arc is pretty cool. It's basically like a training arc for Killua and Gon, they kind of separate from their other companions and they move on their way. This is where we start to learn about Nen. So Nen is the sort of power magic system, if you will, in Hunter x Hunter. It's kind of cool. So Nen is essentially your life force or your aura, and they learn about how to use Nen, and it's essentially like controlling your aura to enhance your abilities. There are various different categories of Nen users. Gon, for example, is an enhancer. He can use his ability to enhance his physical strength and stuff like that. Killua becomes a conjurer or something? I can't remember. But yeah, I'm not gonna get into the full Nen, Ren, Zen, Tetsu kind of thing. There's very, one thing I've heard about Hunter x Hunter for the longest time is there is a very in-depth sort of magic system, and that is definitely true. It's very cool. There's all these different categories of Nen users. There's all these different things, and it's very sort of cool and interesting. Yes, there's a lot going on there. So the Heaven's Ruin arc continues on for a while. Gon and Killua get a little bit stronger, la-di-da-di-da. Then we move into the Phantom Troop arc, which was actually one of the more interesting arcs. I will get into my general opinion about this show a little bit later in the video, but so the Phantom Troop is a infamous gang of criminals and assassins. They were actually the ones who killed Kudupika's family and took their eyeballs or something. So the Phantom Troop arc is all about Kudupika getting his revenge and hunting down the Phantom Troop. They are a very eclectic group of villains, and they all have cool powers and crazy stuff and blah blah blah. Just your classic sort of anime stuff. Pretty cool arc, it's pretty cool. We learn more about, all these weird enemies and their weird powers, and it's pretty good. Then after the Phantom Troop arc is over, we move into the arc that I recently just finished, the Greed Island arc. Now, Greed Island is this insane game that was actually created by Gon's father, Jing. It takes place on an island that actually turns out is existing in the real world. Spoilers! But yes, it's basically just this crazy video game that is mainly there to train Gon to use his Nen better. So it's pretty kind of a cool idea that Jing made this game sort of specifically for Gon to train his powers, so it's pretty cool. But yes, the Greed Island arc was pretty interesting, but then we get to the end of the arc, and okay, it's time to get into my full opinion about this show, and we will get into that right now. So then everybody, I have dropped this show. I am going to be continuing with Hunter x Hunter in December. Now then, I just want to say, Hunter x Hunter is a pretty decent anime. It's very good, but when you get to the stage that I am at in my anime career, I have watched so many different anime. There's just a lot going on. This show is so very generic and normal and vanilla. I can't even explain to you. If I was watching this as a new anime fan, it'd be fine, but at the stage that I'm currently at, it's just not exciting. There isn't anything new or crazy. I suppose the Nen system is kind of interesting. I'm not shitting on the show at all by any means. It is very good, but it's just very vanilla. I have seen all these tropes and all these ideas in several other anime, and I just think it's time that I move on. I'm going to continue from the Chimera Ant arc in December. And it sounds like a pretty good arc. It's the arc where Gon meets his father and stuff like that. But never mind the fact that the Chimera Ant arc has more episodes than any other season before it. So I don't know why this arc has so many episodes in it. It's actually insane. So the first arc, the Hunter Exam, 26 episodes. Heaven's Arena, 12. Fandom Troop, 20. Greed Island, 17. How many episodes does the 4th season have? The Chimera arc? Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's actually 5 seasons. But how many episodes does the 5th season, the Chimera Ant arc, have? It has 61. More than double. Almost triple than any other season. It's absolutely... it's insane, dude. It's insane. So anyways, I think the Chimera Ant arc is going to be a cool place to begin again when I rewatch this show in English in December. It was a very good kind of cliffhanger kind of place. Ooh, we're finally gonna meet Gon's father. Ooh, ah. So that's kind of cool. But in any case, guys, that was my opinions on Hunter x Hunter. It is a decent anime, but as I've said, it's just very, very generic and just... yeah, there are several other shonen sort of anime that do this sort of trope and this sort of thing very well. as I said before, Naruto, DBZ, that kind of thing, yes, it is a good anime, but at the same time, yeah, I would just like to move on and start watching something new. So anyways, guys, thank you for listening to my rambling opinions and my various little thoughts about this show. If you have any other questions, or if you have any other suggestions, or just things that you would like to talk about, please let me know in the comment section down below. I will be doing potentially more anime videos like this as we continue on. But yes, I sort of look forward to rewatching this show in December. As I've said before, just a few things about the Japanese version of this show just irritated me just a little bit. Gon's voice actor was just a little bit annoying, and just a few other things like that. So I'm curious to see what the show is going to be like in English. Very excited to see that. But yes, I will return to good old Hunter x Hunter in December at the end of the year. Very nice. That's about all I had to say about this show, guys. It was pretty good, and yes, we will return to it later in the year. Thank you for watching this video, everybody, and leave me a comment, like, subscribe, those sorts of things. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one, guys.